Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So,
Om Jnanatimanandasya Kyanandana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I would like to welcome you all for His Holiness Candramauli Swami Maharaj's daily call. Please accept my humble obeisances, praying all of you are well. Gurumaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Maharaj, we are doing Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 9, verse 38. Is that right? Hare Krishna, Maharaj. Can't hear you.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, okay, perfect. Thank you. I'll share it now with you.
One minute.
That's fine, Maharaj.
Vachi Sampadishyaivam Ajano Jnananam Avamestinam Pasyata Prasita Rupam Atmanam Darudam Darivam.
Pramath, your voice is little bit muffled. If
So what do you want me to do? Change voices?
perfect. No, now it's fine. Perfect. Thank you.
I'm in my muffled mood today.
Oh, sorry.
Sukadev Goswami said to Maharaj Pariksit, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, after being seen in his transcendental form instructing Brahmaji, the leader of the living entities, disappeared. Purport. In this verse is clearly mentioned that the Lord is Ajna, or the Supreme Person, and that he is showing his transcendental form, Atmano Rupam, to Brahmaji while instructing him in the summarization of Srimad Bhagavatam in 4 verses. He is Ajna, or the Supreme Persons, amongst Jananam, or all persons. All living entities are individual persons, and amongst all such persons, Lord Hari is supreme, as confirmed in the Shruti mantras, Nityo Nityanam, Chaitanas Chaitananam. That means, Nityo means one, Nityanam means many. Chaitanas refers to the conscious living beings. So there's one conscious living being, Chaitana, who maintains all of the other Chaitanas, who are many. So that refers to Krishna. So there is no place for impersonal features in the transcendental world as there are impersonal features in the material world. Whenever there is Chaitana or knowledge, the personal feature comes in. In the spiritual world, everything is full of knowledge, and therefore everything in the transcendental world, the land, the water, the trees, the mountains, the river, the man, the animal, everything is of the same quality, namely Chaitana. And therefore everything is individual and personal. Srimad Bhagavatam gives us this information as the supreme literature, and it was personally instructed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead to Brahmaji so that the leader of the living entities might broadcast this message to all in the universe in order to teach the supreme knowledge of Bhakti Yoga. Brahmaji in his turn instructed Narada, his beloved son, the same message of Srimad Bhagavatam. And Narada in his turn taught the same to Vyasadeva, who again taught it to Sukadev Goswami. Though Sukadev Goswami's grace and by the mercy of Maharaj Pariksit, we are all given Srimad Bhagavatam perpetually to learn the science of the absolute personality of Godhead. Om Gyantimirandasya Gyanajana Salakaya Chaksun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimakte Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvase Sasunyavadi Pastyatya De Satarine Vanchakalpa Tarubhascha Kripa Sindhu Vaevacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namaho Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we see how the Lord makes arrangements for the knowledge to get dispensed or disseminated to the human society. He speaks to the most qualified, in this case Brahmaji, who is a direct disciple of Krishna himself. He is called Aja. He was born directly from the body of the Lord, and he received knowledge directly from the Lord. Tene Brahma Hridai Adhikapaye. He is the original person, and he received this knowledge within the heart directly from Krishna. through his power of meditation and austerities in order to understand his position in the relationship to Krishna and to engage in the Lord's service. So this knowledge started with, obviously, comes from Krishna himself. Krishna is called Adi Guru, but he manifests this knowledge to those who are qualified to both use it and to distribute it. And here Brahmaji is the person. So then Brahmaji, who disseminates that knowledge, gives it to his disciple Narada. Narada teaches it to Vyas, and Vyas teaches it to all of us through the disciplic succession as he composes the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the essence of the knowledge of the devotion to Krishna, pure devotion to Krishna. So you see how Krishna works in such a way that he's always eager for the living entities to come back to him. And transcendental knowledge is the light in the direction towards the path of purification and ultimately achievement of the spiritual realm. So this is very important to understand, and we're receiving this same knowledge coming down from the perfect source. When the knowledge is given from the topmost authority, which is Krishna himself, down through bona fides authority who qualify themselves by engaging in pure devotional service, and also they are chosen by the Lord to take this knowledge and disseminate it to, just like one who becomes a spiritual master is not someone who somehow or other becomes, gets in the right position and somehow has some knowledge of scripture. That is not essentially the quality of a spiritual master. That's one of the qualities. The quality is that they are chosen by the Lord to do the work. And therefore, when they're chosen by the Lord, that means they're empowered by the Lord. They qualify themselves to become empowered by the Lord by their own pure devotion. And by that pure devotion, that empowerment comes, and then they become the representative of the Lord. And those who serve the spiritual master by receiving this knowledge, which is the knowledge by which one purifies themselves from all material entanglement, and frees themselves from all material suffering, and awakens their natural identity, which is to serve and love, engage in loving devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then that person becomes what we say the means, and then the cyclic succession goes on. And those who hear from them and become purified can also come to the stage of becoming spiritual masters. Actually, in 1975, Srila Prabhupada said, I want all my disciples to become spiritual masters. Interesting statement he made. And what he was saying is that when we should qualify ourselves in devotional service, come up to this standard, because we need many persons who are pure representatives of the Lord to distribute this knowledge to the conditioned soul, especially in this age of Kali, where this age is so much saturated by ignorance and many bad qualities. The whole list of bad qualities are just too long to mention, but the main thing is that everything is based on cheating. No one is giving real knowledge because everyone is using knowledge in order to gain something on a personal level. And therefore they twist knowledge or design knowledge to make it attractive, but at the same time for their own personal benefit. Either they get some money from others or to gain some followers or some popularity by positioning themselves. But if we stay chaste to the cyclic succession, here, Brahma from Narada, Narada from Vyas, Vyas all the way down. Then it comes to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. From Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it comes to the 6 Goswamis. And Rupa Goswami is the prominent Goswami of the 6 Goswamis. We are followers of Rupa Nuga. We take the teachings of Rupa Goswami, which are given to Rupa Goswami by Lord Chaitanya personally when he spoke this knowledge to Rupa Goswami for 10 days that Daswamedha got in Prayag. And Rupa Goswami wrote it down in the form of Nectar of Devotion, Nectar of Instructions, Ujjvala Nilamani, and many, many other books that he penned. Vidagya Madhava. These books are actually the foundations for true spiritual knowledge, and are from Rupa Goswami. It comes to Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and down all the way to our present spiritual master, H.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who is the perfect representative of Rupa Goswami to give the knowledge accordingly to how we can understand it in practice in this age of Kali. So if we stay within this context of knowledge given by the Acharyas, especially the knowledge coming from Srila Prabhupada, which is the same knowledge that Krishna gave to Brahma, although now it is applied given in a more applicable way. Krishna gave it in a philosophical way, or a transcendental philosophical way. The spiritual master gives the knowledge philosophically, but he also teaches the application of the knowledge, which brings about realization of the knowledge. And then realization of the knowledge is the culmination of the knowledge, the purpose of knowledge, to realize this knowledge in practice. So the essence of this here is the parampara system. As Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, evam paramparam praptam, evam Raja, we said, evam paramparam praptir, evam Raja sada vidu. That this disciplic succession was broken due to the element of time, and Krishna came 5,000 years ago to reestablish that disciplic succession. He spoke that knowledge to Arjuna, and from there many different branches of that knowledge manifested, and then we come to the present day, where it is again aligned with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teaching, who is Krishna himself. And Lord Chaitanya is giving this knowledge in a way that is clear and understandable, and he's giving the highest knowledge also, and that is to teach the process of loving Krishna in the mood of the damsels, not the damsels, well, yes, the damsels of Vrindavan, or the mood of the residents of Vrindavan, which is the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. So everything is there if we stay within the context. So one of the things we have to be careful about is that there are so many persons in the name of spiritual teachers and others who delve into spiritual masters, write some articles, write some books, and also speak their own ideas on what is transcendental knowledge or philosophy. And there's a lot of that out there, and it is easily available through various types of, we say, social media and other forms of information that are all pervading, especially in this age of Kali. This age of Kali is the age of misinformation. There's so much information out there, people don't even know what to believe anymore. But if you stay within the context of the parampara system, evam paramparam prakti, as Krishna says, that this knowledge is coming from me directly. And this is the example here that's being given in this. After he spoke to Brahma, and everything was understood by Brahma, and then he left. And he, as it says here, he disappeared. And then after giving this knowledge, we have now what is called the Srimad Bhagavatam, because Vyasadeva is in the line of Lord Brahma, and therefore Vyasadeva took this transcendental knowledge and took Srimad Bhagavatam, which is an eternal scripture, and expanded the knowledge. And then that knowledge was further expanded by the Acharyas, who wrote commentaries on the Srimad Bhagavatam to help people apply that knowledge according to time and circumstance. such as Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. He has given a commentary on every verse in the Srimad Bhagavatam. And there's a whole series of volumes of his writings that inhabit the libraries of many of the devotees in ISKCON. So if we want to even know more about these same verses that we're hearing, we can hear from the acharyas such as Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Jiva Goswami, who wrote the Sandarbhas. Prabhupada also compliments Jiva Goswamis for his work, especially the Tattva Sandarbha. And he also said the Priti Sandarbha, which is the Sandarbha which teaches Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan. What is the philosophical basis for these teachings? And then we have Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, also his commentaries. So we have enough knowledge, and we can explore this knowledge. If we think that we can find something outside, we will find something, but we will not know whether it's bona fide or not. And generally it is not, because there is motivation. As it says, milk is very nice and very nutritious. But if the milk is drank by a serpent, and whatever milk is remaining there, because the serpent touches it with his poison fangs, that milk cannot benefit anyone. It's simply poison. So the milk of pure devotional service is given by the cow, who is actually Krishna, and Arjuna milked that cow and gave that knowledge to everyone through the disciplic succession. Of course, Arjuna has his own disciplic succession, which is aligned also with our disciplic succession as it branches off. And you can see we follow all of this exactly, and therefore, if we want actual understanding and not be cheated by some fancy words by people who have personal motivations or material motivations, then we should stay connected to this knowledge given in the disciplic succession. Therefore, the essence of that knowledge has culminated in Srila Prabhupada's books. This particular week we are in is called, I can't remember the actual title, but it's recommended that we read Srimad Bhagavatam this week from 7 to the 14th of this month. Is the Shastradhan week, I believe it is called. And then it's mentioned that to read Srimad Bhagavatam, study Srimad Bhagavatam, go deeper into Srimad Bhagavatam, and hear more and more about the practice of devotional service, along with the knowledge of the nature of the absolute truth, Krishna, in his pastimes, particularly in his pastimes in Sri Vrindavan Dham. So we have an ocean which is unlimited and unfathomable and full of sweet water. It's not salty water ocean, it's a sweet water ocean of unlimited transcendental knowledge, which will charm the mind and heart and awaken one's attachment to Krishna in devotion. So it is understandable, and this is what is indicated here: stay within the confines of authorized knowledge sources. And that means the disciplic succession coming from Lord Brahma down to the present day with Srila Prabhupada. He was an ocean. Srila Prabhupada's books is glorified by scholars around the world and many others who use his books to understand more about the nature of the absolute truth and the process of bhakti, like that. So Prabhupada's books, as Prabhupada said himself, my books will be the law books for the next 10,000 years. That means any knowledge or any particular philosophical point you want to know, everything will be there in Prabhupada's books. And Prabhupada said that although we call it Srila Prabhupada's books, which they are, Prabhupada said, I didn't write these books. Krishna spoke them, and I simply put them, that same knowledge on paper. So this knowledge is coming directly into the heart of a pure devotee who is qualified to receive that knowledge directly from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. and manifested as what is called Grantha Bhagavatam, or that Bhagavat, Grantha Bhagavat, which means philosophical shastric knowledge. There are two Bhagavats. There's book Bhagavat and there's person Bhagavat. So in order to understand book Bhagavatam, you have to hear from person Bhagavat, who realizes book Bhagavat and can teach that same knowledge to others. And so we can see Srila Prabhupada's movement has transformed the entire world towards Krishna consciousness. Temples, preaching centers, restaurants, schools, various types of programs for disseminating transcendental knowledge and practice. And it's continuing to expand more and more and more. This shows that this knowledge is being fueled and supported by Krishna himself, who is making Srila Prabhupada's teachings a worldwide phenomenon. And so if we don't need to go anywhere else. If we go somewhere else, we're actually wasting time. And we also may damage our spiritual understanding. And so it's risky to go outside of the parampara, the outside of Srila Prabhupada's teachings, which are also given by his disciples, in order to somehow or satisfy this desire to know more. But everything is there in Prabhupada's books. Bhakti True Swami Maharaj went through great pains to create seminars just to teach us that everything is there in Prabhupada's books. You don't need to go anywhere else. When people say, well, Prabhupada didn't give us everything, that means that they didn't really explore Srila Prabhupada's teachings either enough or in the proper mindset. Everything is there in Prabhupada's books, all the way up to the highest state of pure devotional service, which is the love of the residents of Vrindavan for Krishna. Okay, so we'll stop there.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for very, very important instructions. Dear devotees, please can you start your videos if you can, and ask any questions or any comments or any realization if you have. If you can't speak, put it in the chat and I'll read it for you.
Sri Devi are in two places at once.
I know.
How did that happen?
Logged on twice on different devices. You're on mute, Mataji. I can't hear you.
Okay, let's take questions.
Okay. Any questions anyone has got? Okay, very much. While devotees are thinking about it, just a simple thing. You mentioned that Arjuna has got his own disciplic succession. So who did he get as a
We don't
second?
know, but Krishna said, that I'm teaching this knowledge. You heard this knowledge once before, now I'm teaching it again. You don't remember, but I do. So Prabhupada said he taught it to Arjuna, and then somehow or other it got disseminated. But he's not out. Then that same knowledge was given within the disciplic succession coming from Lord Brahma. So that knowledge, Krishna spoke the Bhagavad Gita, which is the knowledge of the practice of devotional service in a very basic and preliminary way. So devotees have mentioned this. There is no actual written record of Arjuna and his disciplic succession, but it's mentioned that Krishna reestablished the disciplic succession when he spoke the knowledge to Arjuna. And you can go to the 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and the very beginning verses kind of illustrate this point. The very beginning verses like that.
Yeah. Shall I share the screen for that?
It's nice because it kind of supports this point very nicely.
Mhm.
Just go to the beginning of the 4th chapter. So here we'll read it. The personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, I instructed his spiritual science to the sun god Vivaswan, and Vivaswan instructed to Manu, the father of mankind. And Manu in turn instructed it to Ishwaku. Now Krishna is speaking this.
Mm.
The supreme science was thus received through the chain of the cyclic succession, and the saintly kings understood it in that way. But in course of time, the succession was broken, and therefore the science as it is appears to be lost. That very ancient science of the relationship with the Supreme is today told by me to you because you are my devotee as well as my friend, and therefore can understand the transcendental mystery of this science. Then Krishna goes on to explain a little bit of history. So he says, that same knowledge I'm telling you today.
Mm.
Arjuna said, the sun god Vivaswan is senior by birth to you. How can I understand in the beginning you instructed this science to him? Krishna says, many, many births both you and I have passed. I can remember all of them, but you cannot, O Subdura. Then Krishna goes on to explain. And then here, in verse number 7 is the key. Whenever there's a decline in religious practice and the predominant lives of your religion, I descend myself at that time. And then when Krishna descends, he reestablishes religious principles.
Mm.
So that's as much as we know. But it does say he came to reestablish the civic succession, or to reawaken the knowledge that was lost in due course of time.
Thank you so much, Kamaraj. So, and devotees, any questions, any comments, or any realization, please raise your hand. I can't see any hands raised or any comments. Okay. Amrita Mataji, please go ahead.
Sukava, you have to give the devotees a chance to think, you know.
Yeah. Amrita Mataji, go ahead.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So, Guru Maharaj, when you mentioned that the knowledge is vanished, or it somehow is disappearing for some reason. So, what can be the reasons where it is not passed on through disciplic succession and the chain is broken? How do we understand this?
How's the chain broken?
Yeah.
Well, it says the knowledge appears to be lost. Sometimes there's no recorded records, and therefore, although the knowledge was disseminated, there was no records of it. And so, therefore, no records means that there is no way to know how that knowledge was being distributed at that time. So, as Krishna didn't say the knowledge is lost, he said it appears to be lost. So, it maybe no recorded records. A lot of times, records were destroyed in due course of time, either by outside enemies or simply by what we say natural catastrophes. There wasn't big libraries
Yes.
at that time. It wasn't until Vyas came and wrote Srimad Bhagavatam that knowledge, actually transcendental knowledge, became recorded in the form of books. Before, the knowledge was handed down from person to person.
Yes, Guru Maharaj, I was just thinking of two things. I was unsure whether I'm correct or not. So one is either demoniac powers taking over this kind of knowledge to break the succession, or
Well,
either
we have examples.
disciples not following.
We have examples of that. Yeah, but somehow the knowledge didn't get transferred. There was some broke in the chain. Krishna doesn't explain what happened. Of course, he does know, but he says it appears to be lost. So we can conjecture that it wasn't, because it wasn't written down at that time, it wasn't communicated in a disciplic succession. Somehow it didn't continue. No, that's all we can say. Well, what can you do? Well, why are you trying to find out something you can't find out?
No, I was just trying to understand how this chain is broken
We can
when this.
speculate. We can say, well, the knowledge could got destroyed. The persons who received the knowledge could have died without communicating that knowledge beyond where them, because knowledge is handed by, before books were there, it was from person to person. That's how the knowledge was. So somehow there was some break in the communication from person to person.
Right. Okay, thank you.
What can you say? If Krishna felt it was important for us to know, he would have mentioned it. But he says, it appears to be lost. I mean,
Yeah.
even many religious books today, just like we have, for instance, we have the Brahma Samhita. You're familiar with Brahma Samhita, right? Now, that's called the 5th chapter. How many chapters are there in the Brahma Samhita? Do you know?
Is it 18, Guru?
100. There's 100 chapters, but out of all of the 100, only one survived.
Mm.
The 5th chapter. So, in due course of time, this knowledge sometimes either gets into the wrong hands or doesn't get transferred from disciple to disciple, from master to disciple.
Right.
It gets lost. Just like Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he traveled to South India, he found that Brahma Samhita in one temple, and he copied it, and he brought it back to his devotees in Navadvip, and he said, this is the essence of all knowledge. He copied it himself. He got permission from the Adi Keshava temple. If you go, that's where the knowledge was found by Lord Chaitanya, in the Adi Keshava temple in South India. You can still go to that temple there.
Mm.
So he copied 2 scriptures, Brahma Samhita and Krishna Karnamrita by Bilvamangala Thakur, and that brought it back and said these are the best of all transcendental knowledge. So Lord Chaitanya found that 5th chapter. All the rest of them were lost. But somehow we have the knowledge that there was 100 chapters. This is mentioned by the acharyas. I mean, yeah, sometimes calamities come and, tidal waves wash away buildings, they wash away land masses, things get lost. It happens.
Mm.
Yes, yes. Thank you. So there can be plenty of reasons.
Yeah, just like the Muslims attacked Sri Rangam and burnt a lot of the scriptures that the Sri Sampradaya had. So those scriptures were lost. So there's many ways by which knowledge can get lost. So this to try to find out how is, I don't think it's possible.
Yes, Maharaj.
Unless
Understood.
you can talk to Krishna directly and ask him what happened. See if he tells you. Otherwise, if Krishna thought it was important, he would have made it known. But he didn't. As far as we know, even the acharyas don't talk about it.
Yes, Guru Maharaj. No,
Funny,
I
sir.
was just wondering, Guru Maharaj, that is it just that when disciples doesn't follow the instruction of Guru, only then the disciplic succession is broken, but it's not that. There can be many reasons for it. So, yeah,
Yeah,
thank you for the clarification.
yeah. But there are many gurus and many disciples.
Yeah.
What is the Upanishads? Upanishad is a guru speaking to a disciple. And the Upanishads were later recorded by Vyasadeva, but that knowledge was preserved. They're called the Shrutis or the Vedas. When the devastation came, Krishna incarnated as Matsya avatar and saved the Vedas from being lost in the devastation. And that's in the Bhagavatam, in the very end of the 8th canto.
Okay.
Thank you,
Okay,
Guru Maharaj.
thank you.
Thank you,
Chiraj, we have
Mataji.
Chiraj and Divya.
Divya, Divya Mataji. You're on mute, Mataji.
What? Can you take her off mute? You can do it as a Zoom host, right?
That's what I'm trying. Mataji, can you unmute? I've sent you the request as well. I can't do it without you doing it personally. Just press what link I sent you. It's not working.
Let's come back to her. We can go to Sri Devi and maybe she'll be able to do it in
Yep.
due course of time.
Otherwise, you can type your question, Divya Mataji, please. Yeah, I will read it. Thank you. Sri Devi Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Dear Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Seeing the purport, I'm just having a little bit of a quandary here to understand. It says there is no place for impersonal features in the transcendental world. So something which is not there in the spiritual world, how does it manifest as impersonal features in the material world?
Mhm. Well, impersonal feature philosophy designs itself around the energy of the Lord. So the energy is also eternal and it's manifested. So taking the Vedas and taking this, the scriptures, reinterpreting the scriptures from a personal point of view to an impersonal point of view. So yeah, that's what Shankaracharya did. He didn't do it with Bhagavatam because he was a gentleman and he is Shiva himself. He did this in order to destroy the idea of Sunyavadi, which was propagated by Buddhism, that the goal of spiritual practice is to merge into the unmanifested existence and annihilate one's own existence. So he came in a covered incarnation. He was Shiva, and he preached Mayavad philosophy. I was just reading today a little bit about Shiva, that he is actually glorious for doing this service, although he is sometimes criticized for doing the service also. But he was commissioned by the Lord to do this. And he brought people away who were off the Vedas back onto the Vedas in a monistic way. And then from Ramanuja and Madhvacharya, and then of course Sri Chaitanya, they took it back to the full, complete understanding. So if you study the history, you'll see there was a progression in bringing it from non-Vedic knowledge to Vedic knowledge, and then to the highest point of the Vedas. So part of that is monism, and monism is that it's been reinterpreted in the wrong way by the class of people called the Mayavadis, that say that monism means oneness and there can be no duality. That means spirit cannot be dual. So we are spirit, God is spirit, so we are all one. That's true, but there is a gradation in the nature of spirit, but they don't accept that. They say spirit cannot be divided. Spirit cannot be divided, but there is different manifestations of the same spirit in different aspects, and that is the jiva, who is also spirit. So they say because the jiva is spirit, it's also absolute, and therefore all jivas are actually the supreme, but covered by the material energy. And when one becomes self-realized, then those coverings are gone, and then one realizes they are the supreme. That's why they address each other as Om Namo Narayan. They welcome each other as Narayan. So it's a twisting of the philosophy, because ultimately they're envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because in order to approach the Supreme Lord, you have to engage in devotion to Krishna. And because they don't want to engage, submit themselves to devotion to Krishna, they create their own fun. So basically they're envious. And that's the conclusion. They're envious of God, so they restructure the Vedas or Vedic knowledge to declare that monism or oneism, one is the highest form of understanding. Everything is one.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Sri
Okay.
Divya Mataji. Divya Mataji, do you want to try again to unmute yourself?
She's still on mute. Looks
Just,
like she'll have to get some help on the local level there.
yeah, I think she has written over here in the chat now. So let me read Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. I would like to ask Guru Maharaj that you very well explained that it's really important for us to remain in context of Shastra. But as we have seen the trend that lots of respectable speakers are providing us this knowledge, and due to our incompetencies or lack of time, we try to listen as we being in human form has a tendency to grasp things within short period of time and thinking wrongly that we are growing in spiritual path. Is it really vital to focus on one sastra or book and listen to one authorized speaker only?
Well, that authorized speaker has branched out into many, and all of those other branches are also authorized. So within the disciplic succession, there is a variety of personalities, but everything culminates in the present acharya. And the present Acharya is His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. So he's given so much. You can't exhaust what he's giving. And why would anyone go somewhere else if you can't even, if you, why, if you're in a house and you're hungry and there's food in the house and you say, I'm going to go outside and beg some food. Why are you going to leave the house? The house already got food. Why turn into a beggar? And you never know what kind of food you're going to get. You're going to get poisoned by what you beg. So it's kind of, we say, crazy to, when everything is available in complete form, and it's been proven by the manifestation of that knowledge being spread everywhere, why go somewhere else? There's no reason for it. We call it in a very simple term, wanderlust. The lusty desires to try to enjoy, to experience something somewhere else. It's more or less the business of a prostitute. If you have a nice wife, why go find a prostitute? It doesn't make any sense. But that's the nature of what we call the restless mind. The mind gets restless, and therefore it wants to expand its restlessness into different areas of interest like that. There's people who collect knowledge just for the sake of having knowledge, and this knowledge, most of the time, is useless. So, I mean, all we have to do is read Prabhupada's books, read Bhagavatam, see if you can understand Bhagavatam. Those who actually seriously read Bhagavatam, they become happy. I just met somebody yesterday. Some lady was a mother of a person that I know in India. He brought his family, and she's reading Bhagavatam all the time. And she was just so happy. All she can do is talk about Bhagavatam. She finished Bhagavatam once, now she wants to read it again. So there are many examples of people who are, basking in the knowledge that Srila Prabhupada's given. And if you can bask in one drop of it, you can swim forever. But to speak of what he gave in total, which is not possible in this life. And there's no subject matter he didn't cover. That's the point. How many of us have actually read and studied Chaitanya Charitamrita? You read Chaitanya Charitamrita? I mean, that's on a higher level of Bhagavatam. It's deep. Prabhupada's purports are really deep. But they're transcendentally sweet at the same time. They give knowledge, they give satisfaction, and they inspire us to learn more.
I think I'm not. Is it okay, Divya Mataji?
Okay.
Guru Maharaj, on that, can I quickly ask one question? If we are from the ISKCON only different speakers, can we listen to those speakers for the Shastra which we are studying? So like Bhagavatam, can we listen from other speakers as well?
Yeah, those who are within the confines of ISKCON and who are in good standard, yeah. You
And
have
how
to know
about reading two different books at the same time, like Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita?
just like sometimes there are people in ISKCON who like to, what we call, sensationalize some of the philosophy and adds their own ideas to it. There's a difference between speaking out of realization and trying to turn the knowledge into something sensational. So sometimes I know one person who's good at that, likes to sensationalize the knowledge. But then there's others who take Prabhupada's knowledge and based on their own practice of bhakti, realize that knowledge and practice. And then when they speak maybe not exactly the same words, but the same principles from their own level of realization.
Mm.
And that's how this knowledge continues to grow and expand. It's not like knowledge stops. It continues to live within the hearts of the great souls and expands outward into more and more of the same points, because transcendental knowledge is unlimited as Krishna. It's as unlimited as Krishna. That means there's no limit.
True. Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Balwan Nitai Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Jai Sri Nityananda, and all glories to the assembled devotees. Just on that point, as you were speaking about people's, immersion in Bhagavatam and the sweetness of it, I was hoping that, the Chaitanya Charitamrita was included in that characterization. Over this last year, I read the entire thing, 7,500 pages of it, and I just finished the Chaitanya Bhagavata this last week. And I find that now that I'm done with those texts, I miss the pastimes and the sweetness of the, and so I likely will start them over again. But
Good.
I am not good at memorizing things, but there was a slogan in the Madhya Lila that it just jumped right out at me, and it was so beautiful that I had to try to press it into the melty wax of my mind. And let me see if I can remember it. Chaitanya Charitamrita Nitya Kana Pana Yahe Hate Premananda Bhakti Tattva Jana. It seemed to me a slogan for, and a slogan for what what's possible in Krishna consciousness. A rough translation of that was read the Chaitanya Charitamrita every day. The sweetness of it will grant you the love of God and the wisdom and absolute truth of bhakti, which when I first came across it, it exploded my heart. And so I had to remember.
Good. We are exploding our hearts right now. This just sounds good.
Yeah. And then I find that now that I've been through it and my, understanding has grown from that. Now that I'm reading the Bhagavatam, both in our class, and I had never attempted it before, and so I've started at the beginning and I'm reading it. I'm finding that being familiar with the Chaitanya Charitamrita and Prabhupada makes references to that regularly in the Bhagavatam, and so I'm finding that it's a lot clearer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati says those who read Chaitanya Charitamrita first can understand Srimad Bhagavatam. In the sense that Chaitanya Charitamrita is living Bhagavatam. It's the life and teachings of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. So in one sense, it's non-different than Bhagavatam.
Mm.
And to illustrate that, when Prabhupada had the Bhagavatam printed, in the very beginning of the first canto, he includes in the introduction a 60-page explanation of Lord Chaitanya's life. as a prelude to Bhagavatam. Yeah. So yeah, and Lord Chaitanya, if we go dive deeply into Lord Chaitanya, then you'll understand everything. Lord Chaitanya has his whole movement. Our whole movement is based on his teachings. Yeah, thank you, Balavan. That was great.
Jai, thank you so much. Hare Krishna, everybody.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you. There's a comment or sorry, question in the chat by Sonal Mataji. Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. So, is it the reason that in Srimad Bhagavatam, when it comes to description of Vaikuntha planets, there is personality for every aspect? This is a follow-up of the question from Sri Devi Mataji's regarding impersonal aspect in material world.
What is the question again?
So the question is, when it comes to description of Vaikuntha planets, there is personality for every aspect in Vaikuntha planet. That's what she's asking.
Yeah, in the spiritual world, everything is personal. The trees, the plants, the rocks, everything has existence. It's everything is sentient there. You have to understand, spiritual means sentient. Anything in the spiritual world is sentient or conscious, chaitana. So yeah, even if it appears to be similar to inanimate objects that we experience in this world, it's not the same. Their consciousness is there. The rocks have consciousness, the birds, the trees, the plants, the creepers, the grass, the air, everything has consciousness. Everything's personal.
Thank you. Is it okay, Sonal Mataji?
Krishna Maharaj. Yeah, I think I heard this especially in relation to Govardhan Shila because I struggle to understand how can we worship Govardhan Shila, and then when I was reading description of Vaikuntha planets, it just came to it's mentioned so nicely in that. So yeah, thank you so much, Maharaj.
Good, yeah. Govardhan, he's a rock, but he's there. Prabhupada also says there's one rock even today, somewhere in he mentions the place, I forgot. Punjab. The rock every year it gets bigger. It's a rock, but it's getting bigger and bigger every year. And it's not due to dust either or mildew. They keep it clean. The rock gets bigger every year. So there are some examples of consciousness in the lower aspects of immaterial existence. Yesterday we were talking about in Jagannath Puri, there's one well in Jagannath Puri where there's no water in that well all year round. But the day before the Snan Yatra, the well fills up by itself with water. Nobody puts any water in it. It fills up by itself. And then they use that water to bathe Jagannath for his Abhishek, which is his birthday. And then they use the water up, and then the well is dry for the whole year. And the next year, it comes back again. You want to see the video? You want to see the video? I can show it to you.
Yeah, I'll make you the host, Maharaj. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, it's a short video. It's kind of nice. Little some transcendental excitement here. Oh, let me see. Let me get to the video, and then you can teach me how to make it visible
Yeah,
on the screen. So I got the video up already.
Okay, so there will be a green box with arrow, share.
Okay, wait a minute. Okay. Okay, I can't get it to stop here. Krishna Chaitanya.
If you hover on the video, there will be a stop button, Guru Maharaj.
Okay, I got it to stop.
Okay.
All right, so
Now on the Zoom, come
now
back on this.
now what do I do?
Come back on the Zoom, and there will be a green
Okay.
box with the arrow there, share.
You have to get back on the Zoom here. Okay. It comes green box. It says share here. Okay, we
Yeah,
got
click
it.
on there. Click on there.
Yeah, and then we have to give audio too now.
Yeah, there will be on the right hand side, there will be two boxes which says share sound.
Share sound.
Yeah.
Okay.
Click on that, and then there is a bottom one says share.
Share. Okay.
Yeah,
And
and
then
then it'll share. Yes, it's coming up, Guru Maharaj.
okay, now I can play it.
Yes.
There is a mysterious
There's no
well in the
sound.
Jagannath temple
Yes.
which fills by itself just once in a year.
Hmm. How come there's no sound?
It was there. We could hear it, Guru Maharaj.
You could hear it?
Yes.
Okay, let me go back again and
Yes.
to where it was. Mhm. Okay, let me start it from the beginning again.
Mhm.
There is a mysterious well in the Jagannath temple which fills by itself just once in a year. In this episode of Mysteries of Jagannath Temple, we shall tell you about a mysterious well which fills by itself with water only once in a year. Every year on the Jeshta Purnima day, Lord Jagannatha takes a public bath along with Balarama and Subhadra. They are bathed with 1008 kalashas, and these kalashas are filled with water from the Swarnakupa, which is located on the northern gate of the Jagannatha temple. The whole year, this Swarnakupa is dried, not even a single drop of water. However, mysteriously, just a day before the Jeshta Purnima, the well is filled by itself up to the rim. The water is used for the Abhisheka of their lordships. And after the Jeshta Purnima, the well gets dry, not even a single drop of water. How and when the water comes to the well and goes out of the well, nobody knows. This well does not have any water inlet or outlet inside it. The devotees of Lord Jagannatha believe that the water in this well comes directly from the Vaikuntha Loka, from the Viraja river. Share this video with your friends and share the glories of Bharat.
Amazing.
Okay,
Have you seen that well, Guru Maharaj? I haven't.
you seen it?
I haven't. I've been to Jagannath Puri, but I think I must have missed it.
It's in the northern side of the temple there.
Next time when you go.
It's dry the whole year except for one day.
Yeah. Good to see that, yeah. Some things are amazing still.
Yeah,
This
well,
reminds that there is the Vaikuntha out there.
if you stick with this process, you'll find every day is amazing.
Definitely. Okay, devotees. Any other question or comments? Okay, yes, Manohar Krishna Das Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances. All praise to you, all praise to Srila Prabhupada. It might look like a silly question, Maharaj, but I have that in my mind. What is the right way of reading our scriptures in the sense that whether we should go deep dive in every aspect of it or we should try and swim through it?
Well, you want to know a procedure for approaching the scriptures?
Yeah, Maharaj. I mean, if I talk about myself, what I feel is that I tend to go very deep into, every aspect of it, but that slows me down a lot in terms of, progressing on the scripture ahead. So just wanted to understand through you, Maharaj, what is.
I can give you a general protocol to follow.
Mhm.
Mhm. Let's see if I can find it here. We're getting close here. Mhm. Let's see if I can find it here. Uh-huh. Well, I'll have to go to another place to find it, but let's see. I thought I had taken it from the source and recopied it to another place, but I can't seem to find it in that place, but I can go to the source. You give me a few moments here.
Sure,
I
Maharaj.
can go to the source. Mhm. Let's see. Okay, so this is very instructive.
Mhm.
Mhm. Okay. This seminar is called How to Study Shastra.
Okay.
Mhm. Doesn't want to open. Somehow, today has been a day of interesting dynamics. The thing is not opening. Well, wait a minute. Here we got something. This is important. This was a seminar that I did, and there's one point there. Okay, here we go. We're getting closer now. Mhm. Okay, here we go.
So,
Careful.
Maharaj,
Can you hear me?
yeah. I was just checking.
Careful
Are you
reading.
sharing the screen? Yeah.
No, I'm going to read.
Okay.
That's
Sure.
more an attempt to allow Shastra to affect us, gain association, carefully listen to Krishna's message, let potent transcendental words sink deeply into consciousness, and then a more direct understanding. And then we get to let me see, here we go. We're getting close now. Okay, here we go. Suggested steps when beginning to practice prayerful reading. You ready?
Yep.
Decide on what you will read, number one. Two, decide on how long you will read for. That's up to you. Go to a place where you can be alone with the book, uninterrupted and quiet. Make yourself comfortable, but don't fall asleep. Cultivate an appropriate attitude. That's more the desire to know. Before starting, you may offer prayers. When you're reading, begin reading. Read aloud or silently. Read until a word, a phrase, or an idea strikes you or catches your attention. Strive to understand it deeply.
Mhm.
When your time is up, offer obeisances and try to remember any realizations that you may have been offered to you. Assimilate into your life what you have read and realize. Read Srila Prabhupada's books in this fashion as much as you can. So that's just basic steps on how to approach the book.
Yeah, but yeah, this is very,
You know,
very useful. Yeah.
read until a word or a phrase or an idea strikes or catches your attention. And you can also sit there with a pencil and paper and write down some points that strike you.
Right.
But read in an atmosphere where you don't get disturbed.
Right. Very, very, very useful points, Maharaj. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
part of the seminar.
Sure. Sure, Maharaj. Thanks a lot, Maharaj. I think this would help me a lot.
Yeah, and don't try to read as much as you can. Try to understand as you're reading.
Mm, mm, mm. Sure, Maharaj. That helps. That helps a lot.
Okay, good.
Sure. Thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for a very good question. It helps me as well. I take long time reading as well. So I was thinking, am I doing something wrong? Because some people, they say, oh, they read first everything, then they read second time, and then they try to focus on some stuff. So I was thinking, is it right way? But I think good. Thank you, Guru Maharaj, for explaining what is right
Yeah.
way. Is the seminar online, or is there any way you can share, Guru Maharaj?
It's a seminar that is given. It's not you can read.
Okay.
It's a presentation.
Okay.
So you have to have someone who's going to present it, and then it's a slideshow. So we go down the slides and we bring up the slides and we discuss the slides.
We should do one session on that, Guru Maharaj.
Yeah, I've done that seminar a few times. It's called, the seminar is entitled, Why is it more important now than ever before to read and study Srila Prabhupada's books? Why is it more important now than ever before to read and study Srila Prabhupada's books? Because as time goes on, there is a tendency to lose connection with the founder Acharya and his teachings. So therefore, to recapitulate that, represent it, and so people can stay connected to what Srila Prabhupada gave us. And time will wear things down, because those persons who are with Prabhupada, after some time, all of them will be gone. So then you have different other sources of knowledge. That's part of the seminar. How time changes the ability to understand not only the knowledge, but the different aspects of the knowledge. Such as, what was the intention when it was written? When it was spoken, who was it spoken to? And what was the message according to time, place, and circumstance?
Very important point, Guru Maharaj. Thank you.
Okay.
Dear devotees, any last minute question? We have gone 23 minutes over, but if you have any question, please make use of this time.
Okay, I think we can stop here, and
Okay.
we'll continue tomorrow with
Guru Maharaj, tomorrow, Srimati Mataji messaged me that we have got the Bhakti Sangha group class, which is at 12:20 p.m. UK time, and the verse is Srimad Bhagavatam, 8th canto, 8th chapter, 39 to 40.
Okay. So if devotees can come by, we all, I believe, have the links for that session. It's a little different. And if you don't have the link, just connect with Srimati. She'll give you all of the links you need to get on.
It will be posted in the group, Guru Maharaj.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's fine. Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj.
Okay, Hare Krishna.
Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Premanande.
Yeah.
Jai.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Thank
Hare
you, Guru
Krishna.
Maharaj.
Dear Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Bye.
Guru Maharaj, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Guru Maharaj.
Krishna.
Thank you very much.
Good day.
Hare Hare.